Hey, Wambong World Entertainment, and it's finally here, the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. Now, this pretty much is the trailer they showed at wasn't it the China Comic-Con? Or was it one of the Star Wars celebrations? I think it was Star Wars Celebration, actually, but it was in, like, Japan or somewhere. Just that they've kind of rearranged it a bit. The trailer that leaked, if you saw it, that like the AT-AT attack is at the end of this trailer, whereas the one that was shown at the celebration was at the beginning of the trailer. The one thing they've absolutely changed is speaking, because there are only 2 moments in this entire trailer that's over a minute and a half long that actually has dialogue. It's Djarin saying one thing, which I believe was impressive, which is almost at the full minute mark, and what appears to be that thing from the Rise of Skywalker. What was he? Bobo Frick, whatever the hell that thing was called. One of him, if it's not him. You're gonna see the trailer. Now the trailer, it's doing well in terms of like to dislike ratios. Like on the official Star Wars YouTube page, it's 108,000 upvotes to a mere 26,000 downvotes, so it's doing well there. Comment section, not so much. But before we dive into everything, let's take a look at the trailer itself. So here is the first official trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Impressive.
Good shot, baby.
Alright, there it is. There's your first official trailer for this brand new Star Wars movie. The first Star Wars movie to be on the big screen since The Rise of Skywalker. And the first thing you gotta say is, what the hell about this says it's a big screen adventure? If you put this trailer next to the 3 seasons already of The Mandalorian, it would fit right in there, because that's all this thing looks like. It just looks like an episode of the show. And remember, this was meant to be season 4, but they ended up deciding, hey, after the disaster that was season 3, let's make it a movie instead. And that's what they did. So, according to the official release synopsis, it says, the evil empire has fallen, and imperial warlords remain scattered throughout the galaxy, as the fleeting New Republic works to protect everything the rebellion fought for. They have enlisted the help of legendary Mandalorian bounty hunter Djarin and his young apprentice Grogu. It's not exactly an exhilarating, exciting, must-watch synopsis there, is it? It's literally the synopsis of the show. By the way, why are they saying Grogu is his apprentice? Yeah. So, the one thing they're going to really find out is just how successful the show was by putting this on the big screen, to see what the numbers end up being. That being said, again, none of the trailers are getting ratioed, so I think that's more indicative of people just not caring. That the people who did care jumped in and gave it all its likes and stuff. The people who don't care just couldn't be bothered to even look at the trailer. I think that's what that's about. Like, put it this way. Every time people bring up these Star Wars things, nobody particularly cares. And even this article, like, where that synopsis was read, this article even has, like, writing up about, like, oh, is it the making of an epic adventure? Wait till you see what they say here. They said, The Mandalorian and Grogu has the makings of an epic adventure. However, with little in the way of story details revealed, we've yet to see what's justified The Mandalorian's leap from streaming to theaters beyond Disney's desire for additional box office revenue. Hopefully the story, originally conceived as Season 4, is worthy of a movie. Time will tell whether it's with something that ties into Supreme Leader Snoke's creation, which was hinted at in the main series on several occasions, or perhaps even a story tying up Dave Filoni's Star Wars crossover movie. So even this article that's trying to say, like, oh, this is exciting and stuff, ends up saying, yeah, it's actually quite worrying, the fact that this thing is not justified to be a movie, and it was meant to be Season 4, just that they dropped it into a movie form. Everything about the trailer, and you'll notice the one thing actually with the trailer, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. They are truly pushing Grogu on you, because they want all the kids and the women to go, oh, it's Grogu, and use that to make people rush out to the cinemas. That's what they're doing, because he is absolutely plastered all over this trailer. Sigourney Weaver, you notice she says nothing in this. That scene was in the Celebration trailer, and she was talking. Everybody immediately went, oh, so this is going to follow the exact thing the show does. She's going to hire him for a job. He can't get the job done. Someone else comes in to get the job, goes back, and it turns out, shock horror, she's actually the villain. Because it's pretty obvious that that's what's going to end up happening. And of course they do the Grogu with the food. The comment section, however, of the trailer is interesting. So the first one says, Disney executives, everyone stop talking about Jimmy Kimmel. Look at this shiny new Star Wars movie. Well, the next one says, somehow Razor Crest returned. Yes, that is a question people have been asking is, wait a minute, how's his ship back? And the last time, wasn't he flying around in a Naboo starfighter? Next one says, cancelling Disney Plus. This is the way. Next one, I can't believe that this is the trailer. That someone looked at this and went, good job. Yeah, because that is the thing. It looks horrible. Next one, finally, something with Pedro Pascal in it. There was a shortage lately. Isn't that the case? Next one, this just looks like one episode of the show. So you're seeing, it's not getting ratioed, but the comments section, which wasn't like this originally, has now blown up with people just like, what is this? So it says, wow, I wish I felt anything. Someone says, I will never forgive the creative team behind the show for bringing back Grogu after his narratively satisfying exit from the story so Disney could keep using him for marketing. And that was one of the biggest criticisms, was how Season 3, and more so True, even though it was practically Season 2.5 when they did the 2 episodes in the Book of Boba Fett, was to instantly bring him back. It was like his story was complete. He went off with Luke to be trained. And it's almost like somebody realized and went, wait a minute, if he sticks with Luke, he's gonna die. Because Kylo Ren ended up killing everyone at that academy. We can't have Grogu there. And they instantly went, oh Jesus, you're right. Quickly, bring him back to Djarin. And everybody went, what? Why is he back? Like, why? This makes no sense. And then when you even had people saying, so you've just screwed over Luke. Like, you made Luke incompetent, that he gave Grogu a choice This, you can either choose the lightsaber or you can choose to stay here. And it was like, what are you doing? Nothing about this screams it's big screen material. Nothing. The effects look horrible. The monsters and stuff, yeah, look horrible. The only part that looks somewhat decent really was the AT-AT exploding, but overall, we've seen that a billion times already. The font and the name of the movie is horrible. The whole Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. It's like, what? How many people you're aiming this thing towards, especially with Grogu, don't even know who Grogu is? They still look at this thing as Baby Yoda. They'll see the name Grogu and they'll be like, who's Grogu? And then when you tell people, oh, that's Baby Yoda, he's got a name. Do you know what else will absolutely ruin that character? And it'll probably happen in this movie. And once it does, the cuteness goes away, but they have no option but to do it. Talking. As soon as he says his first words, that's the end of that character. The cuteness goes away because you will then have him properly being able to communicate. And by the end of it, I guarantee you, he will speak at the end of this movie. And I guarantee you, what he says will be said because they want people to go, ah. He will call Djarin father. I guarantee you, he will say his first words and it'll be father. Guarantee it. By the way, I want to bring up the whole scene that's in here of Rota the Hutt, Jabba's son, who for some reason looks super buff. Did you notice that the whole arena and all the aesthetic to that scene looks the exact same as Thor Ragnarok, when Thor has to fight the Hulk? It's the exact same arena. It looks the exact same. You could take that and plop it into Thor Ragnarok and you go, oh, it's Thor Ragnarok. Why does it look the exact same? Oh my god, it's ridiculous. And yeah, the story is that they have to try and rescue Rota the Hutt and stuff like that. It's going to be a disaster, and we're about to see what real numbers this type of thing can do, because they can't hide it. They cannot hide the numbers. You know, when season 3 of The Mandalorians, it didn't chart, at least not for a while, and when it did, it was quite low in the charts. It was a disaster. You know, season 1 was absolutely loved by everyone. Season 2, not so much. It was enjoyed, but nowhere near as much as the first season. Season 3 was an absolute disaster for them. And people realized what the formula was for this thing. It was like, oh, he's given a job from this person who then has to go and do a computer game type of thing. You got to collect this to get to that, to get to that. And then find out that the person who hired him is actually the villain. That's been the case. And season 3 was a disaster. Now you've got to try and convince people that whatever numbers these bring in, well, that was a success. It won't be. But time will tell. So, 2026, we're going to see the first release on the big screen of a Star Wars movie since The Rise of Skywalker. And it's the season 4 of a show. Good luck with that one. So let us know what you think about the whole thing, the trailer. Did you enjoy Mandalorian? Did you stick it out with Mandalorian? Do you think this should have just stayed on Disney Plus? Do let us know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.